I was
You
just
recorded.
searching it. I was searching online for saying like, how am I gonna do it? How am I gonna do like a podcast? Like, if you are now in the same room.
Yeah.
And then I
Uh,
fucking realized, you know what? For the Mac Mini, there's nothing on the internet.
oh shit.
I was checking like recently there has been like a change on Twitter. I don't know if you use Twitter or not, but like I've been using Twitter for the longest time for my business.
To be honest, I've never used Twitter.
No? What?
Like, no, I've never did. The only reason I might use Twitter is just to probably look up some memes or to look up some artists and stuff like that. But other than that, I never looked at Twitter.
I use Twitter for everything. Back in Toronto, I used Twitter for like for the public transit.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's how you know if your train is gonna come on time. Is Twitter?
Yeah, for example, there would be like delays, there would be like repairing constructions or whatever. So I can just open it up. Because you know what? For Twitter, you can set up like the notifications.
Dang. That's
You can tell for saying, oh, for this message from this guy, you can just send like you can notify me for whatever happens. And then for example, like for TTC, the TTC is a Toronto Transit Commission. Is it commission? Yeah, Toronto Transit Commission. So basically, for TTC, each and every route, there will be like how am I gonna say it? Like a tag, For example, the train line is going to be like a tag for saying, oh, this is, for example, like green line.
right.
And then I can set up for saying, oh, if there's anything happen to this tag, you have to notify me. And now I always get the notifications.
Dang. So like, I didn't think Twitter had any other purpose besides porn.
I even use Twitter for the news sometimes.
That's crazy.
I got my Twitter open here.
So like, but how is it to retweet? Like, can you just like spam messages or like how? I just don't understand it. I don't
It's
know.
not like
I'm
spamming
lost
messages.
myself.
It's more like, of course, there'll be like a lot of informations that you can take, right? But like,
Right.
I got used to it for saying, oh, I have to filter everything out to only get the information,
Right.
like, the messages or the news that I want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But as far as having a Twitter, do you think anybody should open up a Twitter? Do you think I should get a Twitter? What is your recommendations? Do you recommend
Like,
Twitter?
if you want to open the business, you have to have it.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to be like, for example, if you want to be like a model, then you have to have one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because that's how you talk to like whoever, like interested. Like
Okay.
like Instagram is more like for your marketing,
Right.
Instagram is
Yeah.
more like your marketing team for saying like, oh, this time like I can post something that I can make it like trending or something like that. But for Twitter, it's more like how am I gonna say it? Networking.
Right. Dang.
It's basically you can use Twitter for you to talk to anybody,
Dang. That I like this. Like what you just said. Damn. That's you put it in
It
perspective.
just
Like
it just like how you should do it. Fuck. I'm reading Twitter right now. Like, have you heard like the murder case for like Kyle
Young.
Riddenhouse.
Oh yeah, Kyle Riddenhouse. Yeah, fuck me. Yeah, I know. I heard about everything. I feel like I didn't want to respond or write any post to it because I feel like there's a lot of disappointing things in it, and I just don't want to
Jenna was
feel.
talking about it like on Instagram. I was like, oh my god, this is big.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I saw mad people I know. I just don't want to fill the void with like, wow, yeah, more
It's just
angry
out of a
stuff. Like
sudden, you know.
I'm not surprised, and I feel like you know what? He would have been safer in prison.
No, I mean like, bro, like you gotta go, man. You can't be out there for saying like, out of no charges. That's insane.
It is, and if it was any one of us doing that shit, we would have.
No, like imagine, just think about it, okay? I don't know, like, I don't care like what kind of state this guy's came from. Like, imagine you just go upstate New York and just carry like an AR-15.
Hmm.
You walk on the street with like an
Hmm.
AR-15 like machine gun.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter what you do, okay? You just go out buy a coffee with machine gun. The cops are gonna just run after you. They're just gonna hunt you down, like pin you to the ground. That's for sure.
that's that's true. But
Not to think about like you just carry like a gun like into the crowd or something. Doesn't matter like what's your intention or anything. This is not okay.
honestly, I do have mixed feelings on the Second Amendment. I feel like you should like you. I should be able to trust you with a rocket launcher. I should be able to trust you with a machine gun or like with anything. Like out of the whole compassion that we're human beings, that this is a shared ecosystem, a shared space, and a community. Like, and we're not at odds or in war times with each other. I should trust you to be able to have the same courtesy to respect my boundaries and to not, brandish a weapon and not do that. And I think some people said that he did brandish the weapon and like waved it at people. And like and also prior to the case, he did say that he would just randomly recording people that's running out of a store and assuming that they robbed the store. He
Holy
comes
shit!
out. He comes out and was record. He was recording people and saying that, shoot, I wish I had an AR because I would shoot. I would let off some rounds on those people. You don't even know them. You don't have any in
No,
that
you are
whole.
not a police officer.
I hope he.
You're a bystander. You're even
Yeah,
like not even like close to like an adult.
he's not. He wasn't even an adult. He wasn't,
Yeah,
and he did
exactly.
something
So
vile.
why? I don't know why. Apparently, I don't know, man. Like the news media, like they've been just talking different things. They've been just keep like I've been keep keep hearing about this term verdict from
Yeah,
this jury, and I was
yeah,
like verdict. Apparently, like the reason why they didn't use the term judgment, that means something. That means they are basically hiding something. And then
yeah,
the news media, like they just went for it. And
yeah.
then after
Like,
that, Joe Biden also followed up for saying, "Oh, it's also verdict." Everybody's just saying verdict. I was like, no, this is definitely like because of some manipulation or something, some shit going on.
yeah. I mean, do you think he has some type of connection to somebody? Because his friend who bought him the AR got charged with 2 felonies, but he did not get charged with anything, which
What the fuck?
which is yeah, like you find that fucking strange. Like, who the hell is he? Like, his friend got
This
charged with
is
two slapped
crazy.
with 2 felonies, but the one that actually committed the murder and killed people, like
Oh my god.
that, that is so freaking weird, bro. Like. I just don't know how to feel about it. Like, actually, I do. It's that I'm not putting energy into it because I feel like it's just some bullshit, and I'm happy we could talk about it because it really is just bullshit. Like, I, it's like
I mean, like it probably represents something. I don't know if it's like the lineage or whatever. There'll be something going on there, definitely.
what the caucasity of him not being charged after just killing two people. Dude, it must. I don't know, but
Like
I
if
guess
that's the case, you can just go back to like Wisconsin and carry like AR-15, go to work or just go for a movie or something. You can do that basically. It says that means like it's great, right? You can carry the weapon and you can go wherever you want, whenever you want. Oh my god! And Janet, right?
Janet.
Yeah,
Janet.
because I was talking to her like earlier, like on Instagram.
Janet.
The girl from the group.
I know, but there's so many girls from the group, but Janet.
The
What does she
Korean
look
girl.
like? I think I probably know her if I actually seen her.
Whatever.
Or
Yeah,
yes,
because she freaked out for saying this is not okay. She freaked
it,
out, basically.
it really isn't.
Anyway, I imagine like this kind of thing probably not gonna happen like in New York State.
No, it's not. I mean, we do have stringent gun laws, but stuff like that to happen, it really is foul. Like,
No, it's I'm thinking it's because we are too close to the federal government. That's the reason. For Wisconsin, it's just maybe like for their state, they have their own like I'm gonna say policy or like
states' rights.
regulations or like principles or something. They have those, and maybe this is the reason why like they don't want to listen to the federal government, and because we have like 55 states and nobody knows. But imagine like if you're closer to like a Washington D.C., then it's gonna be like a different story.
Yeah.
Because I know like every state they have their own things against against the federal government, and apparently Joe Biden doesn't even care about it anymore. Joe Biden's like, oh, I just have to follow with the verdict of the jury, and this guy didn't say anything more.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if that's the case, then just don't add your 2 cents. To be honest, like you could have just kept it to yourself, like, and at that point, you didn't have anything to say, so you just wanted something to say. That's what it feels like. It's like you had nothing to add to the conversation, but you wanted to feel like you was a part of the situation. Like just mind your business. Like, keep moving. Like it's just it is annoying because it just goes to prove like a lot of the points that people try to make, not necessarily that they're leaning towards the left, but they show you how extreme things could get. And this was just one of those extreme reality like situations that
like
just
that,
comes forward.
How much you know about Wisconsin though?
I don't really know much about it, but I know it's pretty illegal. Pretty illegal to protect property that's not yours. And
I'll say it's pretty white too.
Yeah, like why do you fucking care? Like the argument, what's the funny thing? They make these arguments that why do black people be destroying their own neighborhoods? They destroy, I guess, apparently a white neighborhood, and they come out the woodworks to protect property that's not theirs. To to come out and be like, we're here, and they only make the situation even worse. And you can't prove that they're not the rioters, or who the hell are they? Like, they just come out. Like, who's to say that, Antifa and the Proud Boys are not all in cahoots with each other?
Yeah.
I even would say this too. Who's to say that this billionaire George Soros or whatever, who's allegedly funded Black Lives Matter, if he doesn't have any connections to another billionaire who just so happens to be on the other political side of the spectrum and is in charge of Blue Lives Matter? They all friends. They all like help each other out. They all like
They gotta be. Come on.
Yeah. So it's like I would say this: Black Lives Matter, like not the slogan, but the movement, the organization itself, and Blue Lives Matter are just the same people. They work together because it's so fucking stupid. It's like the way how the Blue Lives Matter people talk to each other, talk about people that just doesn't agree with them or whatever. They talk very ignorant. There's a lot of hate. They don't want to. It's like a 2-year-old or a toddler. They don't want to actually have a verbal communication. They just want to yell out statements and statistics. Like it's the truth. They'll say things like, "Oh, this is a fact that this happened. Well, we gotta protect the cops. There's so much disrespect." But meanwhile, these are the motherfuckers with criminal backgrounds that may or may have not gotten caught by the police, and when they were a juvenile or a teen.
Yeah, it's so one-sided.
Wild shit. Like, I hear so many crazy stories from Caucasian people about them doing some weird shit when they were kids, like breaking and entering, going in here. One of their friends got hurt because they were doing things they had no business doing. Meanwhile, me and my black friends or whatever, we're just, innocent. Like the most we could think of getting in trouble would be staying at one of our friends' houses over the weekend or on a school night or some shit like that, or staying out late going to a party.
Yeah.
But to actually break the law like these people, it's just insane.
It is insane. Right now, since I got here, even before I knew it, the states are not even connected. The whole nation is divided, into so many pieces right now. Some of the states didn't even listen to the federal government. And I was like, right now the federal are just trying to keep everything in peace, and they don't give a shit. If the only way for them to really care probably is gonna be for example, California or Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to go independent, then federal probably is gonna do something. But until then, it doesn't matter who's gonna free who, I don't think they can care that much anymore.
I mean, if you really think about it, the country really does have a dubious history. That's just
because before I moved here, I spent several years in DC. I don't know if you've been to DC or not.
I've been to
DC. There are really strong black culture there.
Yeah.
Everyone's so proud, Every time if I go to a bar, so many African American people, they're just so enjoying their life, That was amazing. And then when I travel back to now New York, because New York, we have a different kind of people. Baltimore, Maryland. They're starting to seem something different now. Because it's just different state. They have a different culture. I imagine nobody wants to talk shit. Nobody wants to even think about to start something. like to carry like AR-15. Doesn't matter like what kind of skin color you have, what kind of background you have. You cannot do that, you know. Because the
and
culture's there.
yeah, my fault. My fault. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah. So I was like, it's got to be like because of the state, whoever in charge were like really big families, strong family backgrounds, whatever that. But anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I feel like each state is like its own fucking country in a weird way.
Yeah. So like some of the state white supremacy, and you can talk shit about it because you're not even in the state. You see, like you cannot. That's what it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's really true. And it just seems like it's the culture, everything is just so weirdly disconnected in their own type of subculture.
Yeah.
Like California, from hearing about it, like, it looks so nice, whatever, but they really have a strong gang culture where it's almost
California is more like the, how am I gonna say it? It's like the bully.
It's like the bully.
It's like the bully in the classroom. Like it's like the bully for the 55 states. California can do whatever they want.
Damn.
And the federal doesn't. They can't even talk shit about it. They can do whatever they want to be independent. They can be independent. If they want to, lower the tax for the richer, they can do it like that. Or they can do whatever they want.
They have they have high taxes for the regular people, which is weird.
Yeah.
Like,
so for Wisconsin, for this case, I imagine, because I've been thinking about it. I think it's because they want to act against the federal government. That's the reason. That's the reason. Like some of the powerful people, they want to free this guy out of any charges.
Oh, because you think that they probably want to have like where it's like the Second Amendment right to be lifted, and for you to have the right to bear arms anywhere.
Yeah, maybe like is it NRA? RNA? The National Rifle Association, whatever.
Yeah.
That's because of course they're gonna do something. They're gonna say that it's capitalism. Like we gotta sell those guns. You cannot just keep it away. This is a pretty important case. We're gonna spend like a lot of money on it, and that's the reason why they got it like approved.
Okay. People really. It's like, yeah, that's true. I mean, we do. This country does mass produce a lot of guns.
Let's change the topic.
Yeah. Man. How you feel about the fall fashion? Let's talk about it.
Man, like I've been busy. Like I haven't got a chance to even look at it or anything like that. Recently, I've been thinking about to start like another project for my architect. Yeah, I'm gonna send you later, but basically it's because of this Scottish like heritage whatever contest, and they're thinking about you can just put some artworks, like you can just submit it, and if you win, they're gonna just reward you with the prize money, I think.
Meanwhile, I have one question. Actually, are you Scottish?
Oh no. It just I got friends from Scottish.
Yeah, I'm just messing. But that is very cool.
It just like I don't know, like I'll say that like right now you're probably gonna go all the way north to like into Quebec to have this culture for saying, oh, doesn't matter what kind of skin color you have to basically to became to become like a multicultural.
Mm.
For most of the Canadians, like we grew up like that,
Yeah, you have very much integrated, and it's like it's authentic. I would say it's a lot
It
more
just
authentic.
it just like our Asian culture is now like our main focus. Because I know that like of course we do have like the Asian neighborhood, the Asian family, but the society like the I mean the connections are not only like limited to like Asian at all, and that's the reason why. Partially because I grew up like with not that many like Asian friends.
Right. But I do have a question in regards to like as far as what does Asian mean to you, and like exactly what being that Asia is the biggest continent on the planet, what exactly is Asian when people are referring to it? Like for example, I notice there's a lot of Indian people that will sometimes say that they're Asian or like, but
They don't even know like where they came from. I do have Indian friends back in Toronto,
right,
and most of them like they're internationals. Because when I was a kid, like most of my friends, they're like Caucasian, more to like African.
right,
But it's like recently. It's more like the past 10 years people start to mentioning like, oh, Indians partially like Asian too. And then all my friends like like most of them they're like international students. They're from like India, they're from like Pakistan, they're from like Bangladesh.
hmm
Yeah, Bangladesh, and they're just oh yeah no we are Asian too. It's just because of whatever we're Asian, and then yeah, I just like of course you are like but before that like they don't consider themselves as Asian.
oh, and I do ask because it's like sometimes like you would hear where it's like they would put the what is it? They would say Asian and Pacific Islanders, and I wonder like are the Pacific Islanders themselves are considered in a relation to Asians, or are they
For
just specific Pacific Islanders?
of course, I mean most of the Asian cultures are influenced by the Chinese culture. I
Right.
know, like a lot of my friends from, like, for example, from Malaysia, they speak Chinese.
Hmm.
So, like, they use chopsticks. That's first. Anywhere who use chopsticks, they're pretty close to Asia. Pretty close to Chinese culture. And then, and then also because of the language, some of the nations, they speak Chinese. That means definitely they're Asian country. But like if it's outside of it, if it's for example Nepal, for example like India, or closer to like maybe Mongolia, they look Asian. Even some of the Russians, they look Asian. They look really Asian, but they don't speak the language. They don't have the culture.
Right.
But like at the bottom of their heart, like they know that like they have the Asian blood in them. You know?
Like countries like Kazakhstan and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because there are like there the people are integrated. Because
Hmm.
I studied like a long time ago. Mongolians are basically bred like with the Chinese, like thousands years ago. You know.
Right.
So basically, there's really not that different between the different countries, like in Asia, even in Europe.
Mm.
So for me, like, if I talking about Asia, probably is gonna be like that part.
Right.
India is partially right now they're thinking like, oh, they admit that like, oh, we're Asian. If they think they're Asian, of course they're. But before I thought it's only like Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. They're Asian, and anywhere else, Asian Pacific or anything.
Yeah, because I sometimes I'm thinking like I know Hawaii and those places have a lot of Asian like people
Yeah,
that
that's insane,
migrate.
bro.
They have a lot of Asians that migrated and lived there. But
Even in Iceland.
yeah, and I'm not really familiar with the geography of that. So it's tied like these islands in the South Pacific, damn, I'm just saying, is it in the Indian Ocean or is it where does Asia begin and where does it like end as far as like the
There's no
geography?
bound now. There's no bound now. Before, I think before like maybe 20 years ago we had, but not anymore.
Damn, that's crazy.
Freaking like everybody around me is getting like Asian girlfriend right now. So I was like, fuck.
Damn, they
There'll be
fucking
no more
beautiful.
Asian like in the future, you know?
As they freaking should, honestly. If Asian girls are beautiful. Like,
Because I've been talking to this black girl.
mm-hmm.
I was talking to her and she told me that, oh, I'm Asian too. I was like, fuck no, you're not Asian. You're just everybody thinking about they're Asian. Even my dad was saying like, oh, I'm Indian, partially Indian too.
But you know something, people were making fun of Asian and stuff like that. So it's like you'd be surprised how many Caribbean people have a Chinese grandfather or a Chinese
I was like that.
Yeah.
Before I was like, no. That's insane.
They're just like because they don't like, a lot, especially growing up, like, I guess in those places, to look different and to come from somewhere like different, it's like you get teased or made fun of and shit. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, I guess when they come here, it's like especially coming from that background and stuff. Like if you go to the Caribbean, there's a lot of people that integrated are mixed with there's white Jamaicans. There's literally German people who live in Jamaica. Now they have a child, and their child is fully speaks like a yardie, like this bumba clot, all that Ross clot. They sound just like that. But when you come here, like I guess depending on which decade or time, people were made fun of, and like a lot of people wasn't claiming that they were Caribbean, and let alone they're gonna claim that they're of Asian and Caribbean descent and stuff like that.
Yeah, they want to add it now. It just doesn't feel right, you know?
Yeah, like, and now I see a lot of people claiming their Asian heritage. Like, they get in their eyes, like, I wouldn't say chinkier, but they get in their eyes where it's like it's
Fuck,
more.
I'm gonna send you something, It's just crazy. Yeah.
There's a lot of black girls that are claiming that they.
I know exactly the girl you're talking about.
Ming Ming, Chain Chain, all this other shit. They're claiming those things because it's exotic, it's beautiful, it's cute. But before, people were talking shit about it. Now they want to be a part of it. Like they see how how attractive the Asian culture is, and now they want a part of it. Now they want to claim it. I mean, everybody knew that shit was cool, and it's still so much more to learn about it because it's an old, ancient culture.
Yeah.
Probably spanned since the beginning of human civilization. So to study more about Asian heritage and culture is like study the world. Honestly,
I'm Malik.
yeah. You hear
I'm
me?
sending you right now. Okay.
Yo,
I'll
I
let
just
you take
bleached
a
this.
look at it.
Yo, I just put some bleach and water in a spray bottle, and I just bleached this shirt. It's coming out great. I like the design so far. I was gonna tie dye it, give it this cool ass pattern.
Wait, what you're doing?
I'm working on some shirts right now, so
Wow,
yeah, I just
that's nice.
bleached it, and I wanted to. I kept on saying I'm gonna do it, but didn't do it. So now I fucking did it. Now let me see what she sent me.
Post it. Post
Okay,
it.
okay. Okay. Oh shit, this girl's back. Oh,
This girl
uh,
claimed to be partially Asian,
yeah, I can see it.
right?
Yeah, probably her grandparents or probably, parent,
I was
something
like,
like
oh
that.
my god. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's of Asian descent.
Yeah.
So,
You can't say that like you're Asian or something. You can say that oh your parents are or your grandparents are, but like you're not like me definitely.
but that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. Like, what you shouldn't put limitations on yourself. Once you're of something, that's you. Like, that's her history. Like,
Yeah,
it took. Like,
that's
just
the
think
reason
about.
why I cannot say that like I'm Chinese or I'm Korean. It's just because I don't have the culture.
But you know something? You can't say that. Like, oh, I'm 25% or I'm a little bit of this. No, you're the whole fucking thing. Like, it took
Yeah,
everybody to make you. It took. Think about it. If you go back 12 generations, you have 5,024 grandparents. 12 generations. So you gonna have a combination of somebody from here, from there, from over there, from the block down the street. It's bound to be something. So it's just like,
yeah. Like everybody should be everywhere. No? That's the thing.
yeah. But I get your point is you don't want to immediately somebody say, well, um, I'm super Chinese now. I could just start commenting on how people are living in China and everything. Like, because my great grandfather twice removed is is Portuguese. Now I'm gonna start claiming Portugal and going hard. No, no.
Yeah, that's right.
I get what you're saying, but it, I guess she could. I don't know how that works, whatever. But you see, it's attractive to be Asian now. It's like it's the new thing. It's the how can I say? It's the freaking it's the trend now. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
now, but it's a lot more people taking pride in that heritage, especially with Nicki Minaj and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, Nicki Minaj is definitely Asian descent.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
That's
thinking
that's
India.
for
I
sure.
was
Because
thinking. I think.
even I can see it.
Yeah, I was thinking like, is she Chinese Trinidadian or Indian Trinidadian? Probably both. Could be
Hmm.
both too.
It just seriously like right nowadays I don't even care about the skin color anymore. It's just like you know I know that you're partial this and partial that, but like you know now think of it, identity is kind of blurry.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty interesting seeing a chocolate Chinese person. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they have like magic powers.
There are a lot though. There are a lot like in the South.
Wow, have I would not have seen it.
Um. Yeah, it's pretty down there.
I would not
Yeah,
picture that
like
in the
Singapore
South.
or like Philippines. Indonesia, yeah.
Oh, I know you're talking about in like the South of the United States. I was like, I would not picture that there, but elsewhere, yeah. I mean, that is cool to see that those people are still relevant.
Yeah, same thing with the Europeans, because like China. China is actually like in the middle. Some people they can go north. They can go to like Russia. They can marry there. They can have their kids for like thousands of years. And some people they can go south to go to Africa, to go to wherever like, and then they can settle there, and to became like part of their culture. And then they separate like more and more and more like throughout the years, and became their own culture. And that's the thing. I imagine it's most of the people like as long as they moved, as long as they like migrated, then of course there's something like that will happen eventually.
Right. Dang, this is so interesting.
Think about this. I remember the horrible thing happened to German.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was something different now. I imagine if German is still playing like now, probably it's gonna be like a different story.
Wait, what happened? Wait, what happened to Jeremy Lin?
German was like kind of a how am I gonna say it? For my understanding, German is trying to adapt to American culture, like total, like 100%.
Wait, isn't he from California? He's from California, right?
Yeah. And then a lot of people doesn't like it for saying, "Oh, you look like an Asian kid, and you're trying to be like American." And then a lot of people like in the NBA doesn't like it. A lot of people like in the NBA for saying, "Oh, why you just do the dreadlocks or anything?" And then they start talking shit. And Jeremy Lin is trying to act like like professionally, like trying to be like a player. A lot of people are saying like he act like black. I was like, no.
People. Like, first of all, plethora of cultures throughout the whole entire globe wear dreads and braids and twists. If you just coil your hair and let it lock up, it's gonna form a dread.
Yeah.
Naturally. That's stupid. Like that's fucking. You know how many Chinese like ethnic groups different? It's so many ethnic groups in Asia and so many Chinese ethnic groups that do braids, micro braids. Even in the Middle East, which is technically still Asia, they have people that do twists and locks and all that different types of stuff. It's just fucking ignorant ass bullshit. Like, some people just.
That's because it's not the age yet, Yeah, that was almost like 20 years ago. 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Think about back then, like nobody's saying that like, oh, if you look Asian, you have to act Asian. Otherwise, we don't like you.
Yeah.
And then that's the reason why they put German in now.
That's some corn bullshit, honestly.
That was around time though. Now the Knicks are basically just thinking, oh shit, that was a mistake.
Yeah, now they really don't have anybody. Like, I mean, they have
Knicks right now it's okay, but not really good.
Yeah, I mean, even when we had good players, I guess the coaching and everything was trash. To be honest, because it's like
that was something though. That was a good start to have something like a star from a different culture.
Yeah, like Lin Dynasty. It was Lin Sanity. That shit was crazy.
Right after that was you know who was after it?
Porzingis?
That was Dirk Kowinski. From Dallas. So that was like, oh, now like we have a different culture leading the way. And then it's Giannis,
Oh, the Greek freak.
Yeah. So right now they're slowly falling for saying, oh, they're leading waves, for the foreign players. They have to come in and play in it. But Lin is not even foreign. Lin is
No, not at
like,
all.
yeah.
And
Imagine
he got
like
a he actually
something
got a
different like
ring
that.
too. He got a ring. So all the people that hate him, they could keep hating him, bro. Because bro got a ring.
It's just around time. Just around
I,
time to be in that spot, you know. I'll say
yeah,
now, like if anybody came out, I'll say like doesn't matter from Japan, from China, or even from like a million like from California, New York, anywhere. If they
but
want to be something, they can do it for sure. There'll be like a
but
lot of support.
yeah, of course, of course. But I do have a question in regards to that. Would it be seen as tokenism if not on you guys and of supporting each other and building, but as far as it's hot right now, the whole Asian thing stuff, it's like it seems like people are treating something serious as representation more as the trend, and that's
It's like
where
inclusion. This
yeah,
is
but
not a trend. This is gonna be like maybe like down to a few years down to the road, probably gonna be normalized.
and I think it should be, but
Yeah, you got
my
definitely
thing,
should be.
I don't want people to be like, wow, we're gonna start pushing out all the Asian this and that, and then the next 2 years, oh, they start canceling those shows, and then it's not talked about no more. It's not hot now. It's just like on the back burner. Like you know how things were for like the in the '90s, like not '90s, but '90s, early 2000s. When it
Mm-hmm.
came to like it was a lot of black shows on Nickelodeon, it was a lot of genuine diversity. You had Hispanic shows, you had different stuff. Then
Yeah,
little by little, those shows just got canceled, even though they were great shows. Just,
those are.
just
I would say those are segmentations. They're not like integrating it. For example, like imagine if I put up like a podcast only feature like Asian people,
mm,
only feature like Kim's, like only feature like Parks or anybody who's actually like pure Asian or anything like that. Of course, you know it's gonna be great, but that's not integration.
right.
That's not like a getting into the society. Like that's not even getting to it. That's the reason why like I'm thinking about like the Asian culture has to go for like a different route.
Interesting.
That's my point for Shang-Chi too. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, I wish we would have got more visuals of the city, of like where of a lot more context of even the mystical area that he was in. I wanted to get more knowledge of that place and like what happened to all the mythical animals within that, you know,
Yeah.
pantheon. Like, because you saw that they had like the phoenixes, and as soon as the blood sucking demons came out of nowhere, and those guys just came in to start fighting with the tanks, where did all those creatures go? That's what really bothered me about that. And another thing,
Mythology.
uh, I think that it it was probably the best Marvel movie I've seen thus far. Like the visuals, everything was great. To be honest, but
It is.
yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, why did they took them to do a like a fucking kung fu movie to have an Asian cast and character?
It has to be
It
more
have to be
diverse. That was all I asked for. Because
yeah,
for me, like as a Canadian, like that's something you should have, you know? But apparently like right now they just started. They haven't thinking about like, oh, we have to add more like African people in the cast. We have to add more like Caucasian cast or like people from anywhere. But now it's getting the trend right now. For example, like you know the One Piece live action.
yeah.
Yeah, that one's happening like on Netflix. So that's a good start
Because
for saying like,
what
oh, you know, like we don't care about your skin color anymore. nobody like even though it's like a Japanese show, we are not only gonna cast like Japanese or like Asian, we're gonna cast like anybody from everywhere. So that's a good start. So that's
I mean,
gonna be telling people that we are more open arm for saying we're gonna include you in to this culture, for saying it's not because you're not black you can't just wear like dreadlocks like 10 years ago. That's not okay.
yeah, which was fucked
So
up.
it's like like if you want to go to like Korea, you can wear like a hanbok, you can wear the traditional clothing. Or if you go to Africa, you can just get your durag on, something like that. It just everywhere has to be more. How am I gonna say it?
Self-aware or more.
Open-minded. Yeah, to be more open-minded for saying, this is who I am, and I want you to be part of it, and that'll be a good start.
Right.
And before that, because I wasn't. I mean, during that time, I wasn't like in the United States. But I heard like a lot of people talking for saying, um, if you're like acting black, that means you're disrespectful. If you're wearing like the the drape, the in the African culture, like they have those really fancy dress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those ones. Back in my college, one of my friend like from India was dressing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like my professor was really pissed about it for saying, "Oh, you shouldn't do it because of this and that." It's kind of disrespectful and shit. I was like, that's not the age anymore.
Yeah. I just think that asking permission and shit is fucking stupid. Like, as like growing up, wanting to have like long, like not to say long flowy hair, but just growing up and watching shit that liking shit that's on TV, and I'll get all kinds of names and shit like oh, why you act white, or just because I don't dress hood, or that whole stigma is retarded. And
It's
you want to know what's real? I got you with this too.
hmm?
Like the black Americans acting all African and stuff like that. They don't got an African ancestor in their phone book and their genealogy, but they're wearing the freaking what is it? The kufis. They're dressing up in the dashikis and shit like that. That people, native Africans, don't even wear. Like, bro, you actually are like how can I say, you have no right to speak on somebody else wearing that culture when you don't even come from that culture, and it's like you're putting on a fucking costume. Like, you look crazy. Like, that bothers me because it's just like, first of all, it's like you talk about Egypt and all that other shit,
Hmm?
but you don't have a Coptic relative. You don't have none of this to prove that your lineage or anybody that came from those areas. Yet alone, you want to talk about uniting Africa, a whole continent, diaspora of people from the other side of the world.
That's
And
American for sure. That's the American way.
yeah, it's fucking stupid. Like,
It
just
just it
because you're
just
brown and you have curly hair doesn't mean you're related to any of these people. Just like the point you were making with the Asians, is like there's so much diversity.
yeah.
My
Because
fault.
some people like they talk about like a lot of things and they don't even understand it.
Yeah.
Or they thought they understand it, but like at the bottom, like they just don't. It happens. I know a lot of people like that. They're thinking like the African issue is pretty easy. Like there'd be like someone coming in and just unite everything together. It'll be like that. Nobody's gonna care. That's not the case. I also heard about it. It's basically the African issue is because so many strong nations like in the world just backing each and every small like warlords there. They like the world doesn't want Africans to be like peaceful, to be united, because they know if that's the case, then it's going to be really, really strong. It's going to be a strong nation. So it's going to be like, how am I going to say it, third or fourth powerhouse like in the world. And that's the reason why they're trying to just divide it. And then there'll be like backstabbing going on like all the time. And also because of the resources there, stuff like that. It's just a lot of things happening.
I mean, that's very interesting. It does put things in perspective.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it just right now, like nobody should privatize culture. Nobody should say that. Oh, like because I'm from this culture, so you can only talk good about this culture. That's not the case. Everybody should criticize. Everybody should just say what they want. Everybody should just be open-minded for saying, oh, this is my culture, but like, I'm not going to privatize it for saying, oh, this is only belongs to me. Yeah. Everybody should say that, oh, this is my culture, but I would like to share it. I would like to share to like people around the world, the people like close to me, or anything like that, because that's the way it is. Eventually it's going to be like globalization.
Yeah.
You can get, I mean, if I want, like, I can get a black girlfriend. If I want to get married, if I want to have kids, so my kids are going to be mixed. Like, it's my choice. It's everybody's choice. It's their right to do something like that. So for whoever wants to privatize the culture, it's just not good. Xinqi is basically they're telling people that, oh, this is the culture, like we want to privatize it. We want to say that, oh, this is not for everyone. But that's not the case. I'm trying to push it for saying, oh, even though this is like a full Asian cast or anything like that, but still it's for everyone. For everyone to experience, just like One Piece, just like Hunter x Hunter,
And I couldn't even say it better. You just hit it on the nail. It's like just like One Piece. It's for everybody to experience. It's a treasure that everybody deserves to have and to claim and just to appreciate
or whatever. That's basically stopping the things going on.
Yeah.
My dream is to be for saying like I can have a lot of friends all around the world. We can talk about stuff. We can talk about their life. They have to have their own problems. They have their civil things, politics, or anything. I want to listen to it. I want to understand it. And we can exchange ideas. That's the reason why I'm thinking about this is going to be the perfect podcast for it.
Right.
Yeah. Even before I was thinking like, oh shit, maybe like I shouldn't go to New York. Now I'm thinking like, oh, yeah. I realized why like New York was my like first choice. Before that, like I was dating this French girl, and during that time, that was almost like 3 years ago. I was thinking about to basically just stay in Montreal, to basically live there, find a job, and study like French, and basically have like a normal life there. Until like me and my we broke up, and then I was thinking about fuck it, I want to make something happen.
Yo, that's what I'm fucking talking about. Not fucking settling down for normalcy or whatever.
No, like imagine if you're born like in a small city, like in a small town, like you haven't experienced anything there. like of course that's that's all you can think about. That's all you can think about for saying, oh, this is what life's gonna be for me. I don't know about you, but like for me, like I was born in the city, so of course I know I have this choice for saying I want to settle down or if I want to make something in a big city, and that's what I did.
But I understand I understand like to some extent where you're coming from about that, because that tunnel vision thing, I feel like we get that shit a lot as a guy. Like I get a lot of not I get a lot of tunnel vision, but I had my fair share of tunnel vision, feeling like, you know what, this is the only demographic I'm going to hang around with, Black Caribbean people,
That
or
shouldn't be the case. Yeah.
or I might possibly mingle with white people, but my demographic of friends is just going to be Black, possibly Caribbean people, and I'm just going to be stuck in that bubble. Or Spanish would probably be the next thing.
Forever.
Yeah, because you get this type of bullshit, like lie that Asian people are not open, white people are very closed off, and so I just probably thought, you know what, I'm never gonna really have friends in those other demographics that I'm gonna be able to talk to about stuff like this.
Yeah, you gotta keep trying, man. You gotta keep trying.
And that's what I did, like trying and going out and getting away from people that are just not really good
Yeah,
people that
because
just
I imagine, I remember like when I was like 12 years old, I came from this Asian neighborhood, like in Toronto. It's a small town like called like Scarborough.
Mhm.
All I ever see, like in my middle school or anywhere, it just all the similar faces. I never got a chance to talk to anybody outside of this neighborhood. It's gonna be the same people, it's the same neighborhood, the same mailman, the same bookstore like every day. I realize it feels like I'm in the corner of the world. I'm in the corner of the world. And then I realize if there's a corner on the stage, then there must be a center. And then since then I've been thinking, I've been trying to find where the center is. I've been trying to find like, oh shit, if I came from the corner, then I have to keep going. You have to keep going to find the center. So I can open my mind. So I can see things. I can go out traveling to see more, to understand more.
right.
Yeah. And that was when I was like 16. I went into the Liz, I found this Yankee hat. I still having it right now. It's been for like almost like 15 years.
That kind of Genki hat.
Yeah, the old dirty one, black ones.
The
So
fit
like
new era.
the biggest city in the world, probably that's the spot.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, yeah, that's the spot. I imagine like a lot of people, like even because like I've been going on like interviews and trainings like most of the time. Still, like even in the city, like there are still like a lot of people. They are close-minded. They don't care much about anybody outside of this their circle. I mean, especially like Caucasians. If they're white, like they tend not to talk that much. They tend to just judge you like most of the time.
Right.
But I try not to generalize everyone. I'll just say that, oh, just because they have their own things, they've been listening to people for saying, oh, you should trust anybody. Like, even though, like, if you were born in the city, you have to think about how you talk to people, how you can just set up like boundaries and whatever. And then I realized, yeah, that's how they raised up. That's not their fault for saying, oh, I'm not gonna make a friend of you just because you're being nice to me. And then I just say that, oh, like it's okay. Like I just show my, I just show you my kindness. Okay, okay. And if you don't like it, if you're thinking about like I'm gonna just trick you, if I'm gonna scam you or anything like that, it's okay. We can keep the distance. And then that's what I've been doing. It's not only white though. It's like some of the Asian girls, like a lot of people, they have this mentality. I'll say it's normal, like in the city, to have that mentality.
Right.
To be distant,
I feel like it's so corny. And I noticed that with like people even in my area, like I live in Darcy. It's like they're so close minded. I used to tell my friends all the time who DJs about captivating and getting bigger audiences, getting all the audiences. You can't just do Caribbean fucking black people and just fucking sell and peddle your music to them. You got to reach the white people. You got to reach everybody. You got to reach, especially the Asian people. Like they party hard, and it's like you got to show love to everybody, and to just do that. It's just corny, and it's just like the parties look lame and boring. It's just the same old wine, like bullshit Caribbean shit. Like it's whack. And I'm not saying that I have a disdain for like the culture or anything like that, but I just know how limited and how stale it is. Like everybody dressed the same. They all wearing fucking skinny jeans and a fucking t-shirt and some big shoes, like sneakers and Jordans. That's pretty much top fashion.
Like if some people, of course, they haven't broke their rubble yet.
Or some loud ass expensive name brand, just slapped together. It's just a bunch of goddamn copycats. So to say.
I remember like watching like the Instagram. There are like some quotes, I read about it. Basically, Jackie Chan said that like the most important thing in life is to travel, is to go see it. And I realized, oh, that's right. If you stay in one place, you'll never see the outside world. You can never imagine it.
Right.
Yeah. And then, like, if you're only staying in one place, you only hang out with those people, like in that circle. Then you will never realize, what's it like outside of your circle. Like what someone else is thinking about. What like whoever like living in Japan thinking about. Whoever like living like Egypt, they thinking about. So if you understand them, that means you're learning. You're learning about the people. You're having this connection. So when you start talking to them, you can understand more. You can understand like why they act like a different way or something. That's gonna help you like tremendously.
Right.
Yeah. It's just now like I understand that like some people like seriously like they just don't know it. And of course it's because, they don't know how to react. They don't know how to do this kind of thing. They don't know why I'm being so nice. They might think, oh, I'm after something. I'm trying to take advantage, like, for something, and they don't even know, like, why, how, or for some reasoning, whatever. Yeah, it's just normal. And for those kind of things, you can tell them for saying, oh, you have to be open minded. You have to be like brave or anything like that. That's the reason why. Like like the Peter's group, right?
Wait, yeah.
I mean, like his group is perfect. His group is basically is really nice, normal group, like in the Kako Talk, group chat.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that type of person to basically talk to everyone like at once. I'm not gonna just go out there to be the star like on stage or anything. I tend to just pick one or two. I tend to just go pick for saying, oh, I kind of like you, so we can start talking to see like how it goes. And during that, I'm thinking about to get a girlfriend, but turns out like a lot of people there, they have their boundaries. They're not like that social. Like, they're thinking about like I'm kind of weird because of it, and then they realize, oh, I better not to talk to this guy, and then it just all of a sudden we just drop the conversation, all together. I was like, okay, yeah, that's your reaction. Yeah, that's how you're gonna treat me. Then there's nothing I can do. So let's just keep it this way.
Yeah, and it's just that I mean, it's not fair. I would say that because I would say, yeah, they have every right to their boundaries and everything, but
Yeah.
people, you have to understand that we're all human beings, and I just don't like when you're treating somebody with courtesy and respect. It's not like it was like a creep move, or you pushed, like like you pushed up on somebody or said something like out of place. It's just we're all a fucking adults.
Yeah.
Like that's what I don't get. Like people
No, it
act
just
like
it feels like doesn't matter what I talk about. They're gonna scare me. They're gonna thinking I'm a freak or something. And I was
for
like,
what?
okay. there's no going back then.
Yeah, you cool as shit, bro. Like fuck that. Like nobody should be treated like that. To be honest, like
Yeah.
regardless, like especially like something like I had a similar experience with that with it was like some Indian girl. I was in class with her or whatever. I just I texted her that I liked her, that I want to take her out, and then after that she just started treating me like shit. Just and then like out of
I was like,
nowhere
what the
got
fuck?
and then she ended up asking this nigga that I knew that was a piece of shit that's talking to mad girls that she like turned like blew off for him. Like I'm like,
I was like,
yo,
yeah, what did I ever do to you?
yeah, I didn't do anything, but I guess that upset at them, whatever. And then she just got mad at people that I was just mutually cool with,
Mm-hmm.
that they just started treating me weird, like for something I didn't even do. Like fuck. Like
Yeah.
you get mad at people for having an attraction to you. That's so fucking not cool. Like it's like imagine the roles were reversed, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
And let's just say, for example, there was so many girls trying to talk to you or attracted to you, and just like you just blowing them off, and you're like, oh fuck it, I don't really feel like talking to this girl. What? Like, you say like, I'm kind of right now, I'm busy, I'm focusing on my dreams, I'm not focusing on relationship. Then you'll be seen like an asshole, like yo, Gio's a piece of shit. Like, how can you just say
No.
that?
They feel like, oh, it's just because I'm now following you. I'm now just fulfilling fulfilling their wishes or something like that. They're thinking is more like an excuse. They don't think I'm actually doing it. They think I'm lying because of it. They're thinking there's a potential reason for everything, behind the back. They overthink all the time. And sometimes I just be simple, I just be straightforward, and they think the whole bunch. I gave them like a topic. They can just came out with that like a conversation or like an essay, in their mind. A lot of girls like that, or a lot of girls, they act like that all the time, for saying, "Oh, you cannot be that simple. You cannot be telling the truth."
I mean, but guys
But
are
in
generally
reality,
that
that's
simple.
the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want. I mean, honestly, like I can't really speak for every guy, but honestly, like guys really don't want much to be fair. It's like it's so simple. We just want decent companionship, trust, love, honesty. That's it.
Yeah.
Sometimes looks are everything, and we can get jaded by that. I mean, we could get so caught up in feelings, even with girls. Like looks ain't everything. I've seen some of my relatives, like met a couple of guys that just ugly as shit. Like, but it's somehow their personality or something that they're just drawn to. Some people settle for less. Some people are just
Yeah.
it's a lot of generalizations.
That's
Honestly,
right.
I feel
It's
like
just it's just different people. They want different things, and
yeah,
that's their right to pick. That's their right to change. It's not like anybody's business for saying like you know you have to change for someone or anything. I imagine in a perfect world, like everybody's just you gotta be like honest for saying, oh, if I be open up to you, if I kind of like you, if I told you, then you have to be open up to me most of the time. Since I got here, it's just been like that. I know that like she's kind of into me. This girl is kind of into me,
hmm
but she's just not gonna say it. She's just not gonna say it. She's just not gonna act like that. And then they're trying to just act like, oh, I have to do something about it. They act like, they have showed the interest, and then for the rest of it, like, I have to go for it. And then I realized, no, that's not the way.
right,
If you like me, then you have to just act for it. But if I like you, I will definitely act for it. That's the way it is,
right.
right?